Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jonathan, the host of the podcast Masculinity Uncovered. This episode has been long overdue, and the only reason it's been taking so long is because in order to make a video like this, you kind of have to do some very deep self-reflection. The topic of today is what is a man to do in today's society? And I think this video is an encapsulation of what the average man is going through today. Let's go ahead and watch it.
You used to feel.
1 second.
Something's changed in you. You're distant, cold. You used to feel, but now you're just numb.
The average male experience today is that of loneliness. All the good things and the bad things come from loneliness. It's more so like a bittersweet experience, meaning that the man can experience some very great moments when he's alone, because he becomes very creative when he is by himself and he thinks only by himself. But it also gets extremely lonely at the same time. And even though most men are fine with the loneliness, sometimes they wish there would be someone to talk to. And I think that's probably part of the reason why men desire a woman who can be by his side. Because, God made it so. There's a reason why Eve was created from Adam. But for some reason, those same men, they are facing two challenges. And the biggest one, unfortunately, has nothing to do with the women, right? It has to do with a society that is constantly changing the rules of something that should not change. And that is, what is masculinity today? The younger men, the ones that are 10 years younger than me, I'm 32. Even younger, the 16-year-olds, right? They are facing essentially a world that they have no clue what it is. And let me explain what I mean by that. Men, where I grew up, you could technically consider it the 80s version of America. I lived in a small country in sub-Saharan Africa. My parents were missionaries. And you technically could feel that it was a very old country because things weren't as developed as they were in the States, even for the same age, right? This was 2002, maybe. And one thing that was very prominent was community. There was friends. I remember every night as I grew older that we had like a mini area under, because I lived on the top floor. It was a 2-story building, and under there was this gap, and I would meet with a bunch of friends after class, and we would talk. We would just hang around there. Cell phones were essentially non-existent. Internet was so bad. We had to pay like $120 to get like 56 kilobytes per second. Not even joking. And to send a message and receive a message was like a couple of cents. So we were wasting money communicating through phone. Internet was terrible. And the only way to communicate, because fortunately we all kind of live in the same area, is we would have to meet up. There were times that my parents were worried that I didn't get home because I would leave at 6 o'clock in the morning and I wouldn't come back until 8 o'clock at night on purpose. I enjoyed going outside. I don't enjoy that stuff so much anymore because everybody's busy, and I understand that, right? But it was a time that even today, the young kids have no clue about what it felt like because they never truly experienced that. I mean, you may see a couple of neighborhoods here and there that the kids meet up, but it is so rare. It is so rare that it makes you wonder, what are the young men of today really supposed to expect of the society of tomorrow? Most of them are not even aware of how bad the job market is going to be because they're still so young, especially the people entering high school, which is at least 2 years as far as I know. Those people are going to be facing the biggest shock just purely from a stability perspective, nothing to do with anybody else, right? They are going to be so heartbroken from a personal perspective because there's nothing that they can see in like a span of a second. Like, let's say the young people start to think, oh, where am I going to work? And they start researching about jobs, right? Those guys will quickly realize that everything is horrible. They'll start looking at inflation, start looking at the cost of living, things that they didn't think about before. Excuse me. And then they'll realize their future is non existent. So that will create the new generation of lonely and depressed men. Because as soon as they leave high school, they won't even have the energy to go to college. Because, first of all, they're going to be spending money that they don't want to spend through loans. Or even if they go on things like trades, don't let it get confused. Trades, for the amount of work that you do, don't pay so good. I was in one. I was in an electrician's union here in Alabama, and I can tell you firsthand, the amount of work that they made me do doesn't compare. Absolutely horrible. And I had to do that for 5 years. I had to quit for 2 reasons. I was really tired all the time. I mean, constant. There was no recovery from that. I started getting dehydrated, even though I was drinking plenty of fluids. I'm talking water, salt, lemon, the whole concoction. And once I had to go to the doctor for a week because I was dehydrated and I couldn't recover. So my boss told me I had to reconsider working somewhere else. And I even emailed the union. He's like, hey, can you put me on something that is a little more lower key, but I can still learn? Something like low voltage. Yeah, I get it. They call it sissy work, whatever they meant by that. But the reality is, they told me, you ain't ready to be a man. You don't have to work for us. Mindset, right? So it made me start thinking, why? And I was there for at least a year and a half. And I started wondering, why am I here? I'm wasting my life. The pay is terrible. I'm getting constantly sick. I mean, legit, I would go into the doctors every single week because I was sick, right? So even that path that I wanted to craft was not even a viable position for me. You can call me all names that you want, but from my experience, it's not even that worth it. I was breaking my body to earn just a couple of more dollars than the average wage here in Alabama. It wasn't even worth it. They said, oh, if you do your time. Time? I was running out of it. I was legit running out of time. What else did they expect me to do? I told the union to presidents, like, there has to be some way to shorten this. I want to learn stuff quickly. It's like, no, you got to do your time. Time for what? I don't have to put in 100 electrical boxes to learn how to put in an electrical box. You do it 5 times, you're done. Learn other things. But no, they wanted bodies. So I got frustrated and I quit, unfortunately, because I would have been a fantastic business owner, honestly. But that's just me. The trades will kill your body, unfortunately. And college, unless you're one of these high-level, proficient, skilled people, not everyone makes it in the skilled doctor, psychologist. It's more rare than you think. And imagine you're in your 4th year or your 8th year of medical experience and studying, and they fail you. You got a crap ton of debt. There's a huge ton of risk in that as well. So the young man is thinking from that perspective, right? It's thinking, how is he going to find a solution before he decides on anything? That young man, because the young man is what matters today. We, unfortunately, we're basically history right now. I mean, I don't earn that much. I'll be honest with you. I barely, in all of my life, I barely have ever earned more than 60,000 a year. And I'm 32. I'm going to tell you that right now. So talk about wages. But the young man, he watches the internet. He watches the news. He may turn it off all the time because he's tired of it. But he sees other guys talking about their desperate situation and they want nothing of it. It is a isolated, destitute, desperate, and depressing future for them. And they have no clue what to do because there seem to be no options. I mean, what exactly is that man to do? Even if I give you some advice, like learn some skill as quickly as you can while you're with your parents, could be a great advice. You know, it doesn't matter what it is. Look into something. I would respect that decision, but even then, I'm of average intelligence. I'm of average skill. And I can tell you, finding something out is not easy at all. And most people will fail. That's part of the problem. The average market does not serve the average young guy at all. The super specific and hyper intellectual people, the people who really are good at noticing trends and crafting some kind of path through that, is rare today. Back in the day, the average person could do the average situation and he could manage. That's very true. And I'm not going to go into a charade about corporations and greed and inflation. That's not that important. But what is important is, even if that, the greedy part of the society that we don't care about our citizens, is important, the utter harsh part about this is that even if it was true, what are the men supposed to do? I I I kind of dislike talking about the doom and gloom about society because I want to have hope for the young people. I really do. But what I keep seeing over and over, and for some reason, even if I don't want to talk about women, women seem to be laughing at our faces. Like they don't take our situation seriously at all. And maybe that's not even their fault. That's fine. But when they ask us what's wrong and we tell them, they don't believe us. But the other side of the equation is men don't even have time to care about other, especially women's opinions, because we got our own shit to take care of. Right? What exactly are they going to do? I'm turning to religion for answers, unfortunately. All of my ideas are in the trash because nothing seems to work, right? But if you want my honest advice, if you want to be financially stable, I do think the trades are your fastest way. But find a trade that you can learn in under a year and learn it very well. We're talking about hard labor. Yes, people will hire you to do jobs and you may earn a pretty penny from it. That is the fastest way to earn money without being in debt. I completely agree with that. Go to the gym. I started going to the gym a week ago. I'm training my body and my mind to get rid of negativity because we all have plenty of that. Number three, appreciate the little that you have. And unfortunately, it's a sad reality, but a lot of the young men will have nothing to hope for. So I hope the appreciation of life, at least, will keep you moving. And gentlemen, especially you, do not, do not ever, ever give up on yourself. Because if you do, other young men will have no hope for the future. Even if you have to be selfish about your life, be selfish about one thing. Do absolutely your best. I, personally, will try to do my best so that I can take care of my family. And I genuinely hope that as I go through this experience in this so called podcast, right, of a world and sharing my experiences, my hope is to relay the message of even though the world is terrible, there is still something that you can do to make an ounce of positive change. And that's my message for tonight. Take it into your heart. Accept Christ as your Lord and Savior. And please understand, we are all in this together, one way or another. So let us do our best as brothers to focus, to do, and to believe in ourselves that there is a better tomorrow. Even if my words fall on deaf ears, as the saying goes, I am genuinely hoping that there is some path for the future. And the best thing for that is be selfish so that you can improve. Because when you can at least improve day by day, something, whatever it is, there is a better tomorrow. And with that, I would like to conclude this episode of tonight. My much sincerest hope for you, my love goes out to all of you. Thank you for joining me tonight. Have a good one. Bye now.